Hello and welcome back to another video. This is Road Rash 3 on the Sega Mega Drive. I thought I'd show this one. It's got a little bit of an interesting story, I suppose. I believe it was developed by Monkey Do Productions, who weren't responsible for the original two games, and it feels very much modelled on the actual Mega CD release that I don't think we've seen in Europe. I think it was just in America. But pretty competent game. Sticks to the tried and tested formula. It's got some more varied multiplayer modes and also gameplay modes as well. And I remember this coming out and getting it and thinking this was so much better than the other games, just because of the more digitalised graphics and the improved two-player mode, I suppose. Looking at it now, it's not really that great, but I'm someone who used to play virtual racing in two-player on the Mega Drive, so you know, anything was possible back then. It's still a technical achievement, I guess, the two-player Road Rash. Definitely one of my most favourite series of the 16-bit generation. Could never get into any of the Road Rash games after the Mega Drive releases. I remember getting the original PlayStation one and just being really disappointed that they'd done absolutely nothing to the formula. They just sort of made it a bit smoother, but with that it had lost some of its charm in my opinion. I do own the original PlayStation one. I might do a gameplay of it at some point in the future. I've just popped up here. I thought I'd just make a quick gameplay video. And I've got to be honest, I was almost struggling to think of something that I've not already made a video about, which is sort of my overall goal anyway, is to try and document all the games I've got, and then there's always a video of them on there. I don't know why, it just seems like it's become a bit of a personal goal. I think I'm close. I mean, I don't want to make a gameplay, I say every game. There's some games that I'm just not going to make a video about, or certainly not one where you're talking over, because they'll just require too much concentration. They're the sort of games that you've got to get really competent at before you can make a video about them, so. Weirdly enough, there seem to be mostly PlayStation games. I'm really making headway through the Mega Drive collection. Because when I first started making gameplay videos, I didn't talk over them because I thought there was a lot of people doing that, and there wasn't many people who were just putting like the gameplay footage up with the actual captured sound from the system itself. It was mostly emulators and things, so that's what I started doing. I think what actually happened was it was a Wipeout gameplay video, Wipeout 2097. It had licensed music on it, and I was a bit concerned I was going to get done for copyright infringement, so I actually spoke over it. I may well have done a video before that, it might have been Cannon Fodder or Sensible Soccer, but yeah, that's when I thought this is a better idea, talking over them. It gives it a bit more of a personal thing. So I'm going to the United Kingdom next. I think that was a thing with Road Rash 3. Just going to drink my coffee. Because there's no loading times in it, straight into the action. That was the thing with Road Rash 3, it was all around the world. I think previous to that it had been like, you know, different states of America and stuff like that. So I don't think Rob Hubbard was on board for this game. It was a pretty late release. I think it was like 95 or something. So I think when this was coming out, the buzz for the PlayStation and the Saturn was already happening. I do remember those days actually, when I remember someone coming. I used to go to my friend's flat and someone came and said, "Oh, you know, such and such got the N64. You've got to come and play it. It's got like, you know, oh dear me, got like Diddy Kong Racing and GoldenEye." And I didn't really have much interest in it, to be fair. It wasn't until I seen the PlayStation action that I actually cared about the next generation of consoles. And that was only because of the Destruction, like Destruction Derby, and the 3D graphics. Obviously at the time that was a major thing in the arcades as well, so something you just weren't going to get with the Mega Drive. I think my favourite Road Rash game has got to be the original. I actually got the original game originally, you know, back in the day, by swapping I think it was a train for it. Some lad who lived down the road. Probably a bad swap, to be honest. Since the train's probably worth about 50 quid now, and the cartridge, well, the box version of Mega Drive Road Rash PAL is probably worth a tenner if it's in really nice condition. Nevertheless, I've got the Japanese version now. I'd love the Japanese version of Road Rash too, but it doesn't often seem to come up. And the only ones available are buy it nows at crazy prices. And the thing is with Electronic Arts games, they were all localised for Japanese, so there's no, well, a lot of the English has been changed to Japanese, so you lose a lot of the humour with games like this and Mutant League Football. Well, that's another game I need to make a gameplay video about, Mutant League Hockey. That's a cracker. Whoa. That was a proper gangbang then, I was lucky not to get involved. So looking at this now, I'm not sure if I prefer the graphical style here. I think this realistic, digitalised look had its time, whereas the more sprite-based stuff still looks fresh. So I'd say I'm more a fan of the original style. And of course, the music in the original takes some beating. There are some good tracks in Road Rash 2, but that original, my word, hairs on the back of your neck moment really. The thing was, like these things, like these swooping hills and things, this was big business, this was amazing. I don't know where I am. This was completely amazing that this was happening. You're playing things like Monaco GP and the racing games that come forward, it's like Super Hang-On, you know, there's no hills, Outrun. You know, this was a new idea on the Mega Drive. So I'm battling through, third place. Obviously I'm just waffling on about all sorts here. Oh, well, I don't really know what to say about Road Rash other than if you've got a Mega Drive, you should have one of them. Definitely. I don't know if it's necessary to own all three like I do, but I don't know, I felt the need. I even bought the instruction manual separately for this. So I just had it, just the box, and strangely someone listed the instruction manual. I think I paid about 4 quid for it. Full of passwords, writing, dirty fingerprints. It's legit. It's not a copy. We're in Germany, it's a bit snowy. Now of course you can upgrade your bike in this, which I think was a new thing. You can also obviously buy different bikes. I've just stuck to the default one here. That was always the enjoyable thing about Road Rash, was progressing and just getting those bigger bikes, because you really felt an increase in speed. I mean, when you get, I think this one introduced the nitrous bikes as well. They may have been in number 2, but when you get things like that, it's just ridiculous. You know, like when you play Wipeout and you go up the leagues in that, and you're going on the same courses, and all of a sudden, somewhere that seemed like it was like some massive long straights, just like a second long blip. It's pretty much like that. They seem a lot rougher as well, the opponents in this game. Oh, that's what you call being hit. Yeah, there's certainly a lot going on in the backgrounds and things. It's a good spectator game. I've got fond memories of sitting around people's houses playing this, you know, taking it a turn each. Actually, I always seem to be able to avoid all of those trucks and things, but I appear to be pretty good at hitting them these days. There's some people ahead. Ooh, I felt that. I felt its pain. I should imagine you have to be pretty strong to be able to, you know, hit someone with a baseball bat like that while doing 120 miles an hour on a motorbike. And I might be incorrect, I've never ridden a bike. I would like to, but they seem pretty dangerous these days. So, I'm not sure. It's something I might consider later on in life, I think. It's quite expensive as well, I think, getting a bike licence and all that these days. And buying a half decent bike. You'd probably need 3 or 4 grand. So, but there are savings to be made, obviously, with your fuel consumption, your insurance, your tax, etc, etc. You've got to be careful. Plus, not really much good for me in my trade. You can't really carry a trailer behind you with you know, drills in and screwdrivers and screws and glues and jigsaws and chop saws and all that goodness. Just not going to work. So we're up to 12 minutes something here, so I think I'm going to leave it here. But yeah, Road Rash, one of the best series ever made. Wish they'd remake it. I've always said that I think they're scared to remake it because of people copying it. You know, since the days of Road Rash, you've had things like, you know, all these school killings been blamed on games and everything like that. I think they'd be worried that people would start playing Road Rash for real, and then loads of people get killed, and then they'd blame the game, etc, etc. There's not really anything else they can fall back on if it started happening. That's my opinion. Perhaps should have talked more about it in the video, but let's not go into too deep into that. So thank you for watching. Hopefully I'll upload some more videos soon.